This is genuinely insane, as we just received a shocking update regarding a former Eagles star playmaker, and this is definitely a situation that the Philadelphia Eagles will keep a close eye on in the next couple of days, and we'll break it all down here on another edition of Eagles Digest. What's going on, guys? Alex Brooks back here with another episode of Eagles Digest to break down all of the rumors, any sort of news that comes out of the Novacare complex in Philadelphia will be covered here on Eagles Digest. But before we get into this video, we see that 88.8% who watch our videos are currently not subscribed to this channel. So if you're tuning into this video and you haven't subscribed to this channel, you guys better hit that subscribe button, comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on the Philadelphia Eagles and, reactions to all of this breaking news that is coming out of Philadelphia that we will talk about here in this episode. But, getting right into this, we talk about Darius Slay, big play Slay. And you may think, why are we talking about Darius Slay? Well, we just had some interesting news come actually out of Buffalo. And this was from Adam Schefter talking about, Darius Slay and what he was thinking about his football future, saying Slay is honored that a first class organization like the Bills claimed him, but he is going to take some time away from football right now and decide in the next few days if he wants to keep playing. Agent Drew Rosenhaus told Schefter regarding him not going to the Buffalo Bills. And another interesting development is that the Eagles put in a claim. Have to wonder if this was the plan. That was Ian Rappaport on X talking about it. And this is definitely interesting because, Darius Slay, he definitely, when he was released by the Pittsburgh Steelers, he wanted to end his career in either Detroit or Philadelphia when he was a free agent. The Eagles were thinking of possibly bringing him back when he was released, but he went over to the Pittsburgh Steelers instead. So he probably thought this was an opportunity to kind of do like what Brandon Graham did, come back to the Philadelphia Eagles and try to help this locker room, try to, calm down all the drama and try to go for another championship this year. So I definitely think that there is some fire to all the smoke that is around Darius Slay's, trying to go and be in retirement right now. I don't really believe that he wanted to go on a contender, and I definitely think that he was hoping that he would get picked up by waivers by the Philadelphia Eagles. And then when Buffalo came, he kind of was just like, well, I don't really want to go to Buffalo. I want to go to Philadelphia. So it's very interesting to see with Darius Slay in regards to this. And, when we talk about just, this Eagles team in general, they're hoping for a guy like Darius Slay to come back to Philadelphia, because you got to see, like, with this defense right now, it got ran over by the Chicago Bears. So there was definitely a lot of things from the Philadelphia Eagles with this defense that, they didn't look like they were up to snuff against the Chicago Bears. So they're really trying to go into this matchup against the Chargers and really prove themselves. And I really think when looking at just what Vic Fangio has said about Darius Slay, what Nick Sirianni has said, there's definitely more fire than smoke here, saying still Slay is familiar with Eagles defensive coordinators Vic Fangio's system, and he is considered to mentor to young cornerbacks like Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean. As for bringing Slay back, Fangio said on December 3rd, before the Bills claimed him, that's a hot question for Howie, referring to Howie Roseman. Eagles coach Nick Sirianni was asked if he felt the need to have conversations with defensive backs about the reports about the Eagles putting in a claim for Slay, and it says you always are in constant communication with your guys about everything. So there is definitely, the Eagles definitely wanted to bring Darius Slay back to Philadelphia, and I think I would have welcomed it. I would have welcomed Darius Slay coming back to the Eagles because he is used to this system with Vic Fangio. I mean, he definitely was, one of the, bright spots last year, helping mentor Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean, really just helped, elevate their careers into now very big star cornerbacks for the Philadelphia Eagles. And I really think when you're looking at this cornerback room right now, it is something to really just, you don't really have much. You don't really have depth at corner at this position. I mean, Drew Makuba went down with a season-ending injury pretty much, and then when you're looking at this cornerback room, Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, Jahir Alexander, he stepped away from the club. We haven't heard anything regarding that. Obviously, Adoree Jackson, Keely Ringo haven't been able to work out this year. Jacorian Bennett's kind of unknown at this point, and Michael Carter's more in the slot. So I think what Howie Roseman was trying to do, he's trying to get any sort of bright spot, any sort of guy who's had success with Vic Fangio before, and someone who knows how to play really competitive football and help out this cornerback room in totality. And I think that's something what Howie Roseman was trying to go in this and trying to really get him to go and be with the Philadelphia Eagles again to just help this locker room out, help this secondary room just to get back on track against the Los Angeles Chargers coming up this week. But I definitely think that there's just a lot of things when you talk about this Philadelphia Eagles team, when you look at when you're talking about Darius Slay coming back to the Philadelphia Eagles. I know it's a long shot at this point. I know that there's definitely a lot of he hasn't been able to perform as well this season as he has, with the Philadelphia Eagles last year, and especially in the 2022 year when he was locking up Justin Jefferson. But when you're looking at him, 34 years old at this point, 58.3 overall grade on PFF. It hasn't been great for him in Pittsburgh. He's ranked 73rd among 118 cornerbacks, so that's really not what you want to see from someone who has been able to perform really good in his career with the Philadelphia Eagles, but he is in the twilight of his career right now. So I definitely think this is going to be a situation that the Eagles are going to monitor. We're definitely going to give you guys any updates here on Eagles Digest about any sort of thing that, Darius Slay, if he ends up being released, I think the Eagles are going to be all in on him. But we'll keep you guys updated here on Eagles Digest. But I definitely think with this defense right now, there's a lot of different things that you can talk about. You can talk about how they have been ran over by the Chicago Bears, and against the Dallas Cowboys, they let up 24 unanswered points. Obviously, the offense hasn't been up to snuff this year. I've mentioned it in multiple videos. Kevin Patullo hasn't been the best at putting his guys in the best position to succeed. And I think for against the Chicago Bears last week, I think Vic Fangio did the same. I think it was just, the defensive line wasn't getting the impact that they needed, especially in the run defense. I mean, Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, there hasn't been a really good run defense in a while for the Philadelphia Eagles this year. So there's definitely going to have to be a change in philosophy this year, and we're going to have so much more coverage on this Chargers matchup in regards to any sort of updates that we receive out of the NovaCare complex. But that's going to do it for another edition of Eagles Digest. Just wanted to ask the question, do you guys feel like you would welcome Darius Slay back to the Philadelphia Eagles this year, or do you think we are good with the cornerbacks that we have in our cornerback room? Let me know in the comments. Remember to subscribe, hit the bell so you're notified of all of our videos, and as always, let's go Birds.